So this is chapter 1, where we'll be talking about what you need to know, what you need to consider, planning to groom. This talks about costs, about time, about space, everything you need to consider before you go ahead and commit to grooming at home. So let's talk about money. What are the basics that you will need in order to be able to groom your dog? I have estimated that you will need to spend approximately £500 to begin with in order to groom your dog. That takes into account some really good clippers, because I wouldn't recommend buying cheap clippers. I wouldn't recommend buying cheap scissors, and I would recommend having a table with restraints. So this includes a table, good cordless clippers, scissors, good scissors, the ones that you need to do the correct job, and good thinning scissors. It also includes the cost of 2 blades, which you will generally need for any full groom. There are some other smaller items included in that, such as nail clippers, because you will need to do that yourself if you're doing the groom at home. It doesn't include the bigger items such as a specific bath. It doesn't include a blow dryer. This is an assumption that your dog will be able to dry on its own, and I will talk all about these separate items of equipment later on, but this £500 is a pretty good estimate. You could probably reduce it by £100 or so by buying corded clippers, but as I talk about in the equipment section, cordless clippers are what I would recommend. When you think about it, £500 is actually not too much, because the average groom for a dog is about £50. Some pay more. I know in my area there is a groomer that charges £70 and he is fully booked, so obviously people are prepared to pay £70. I know if you have a smaller dog you might only be paying £30. Again, it depends how often you get them groomed, but for myself I would have had Watson groomed every 4 to 6 weeks, so it would cost me about £500 a year. So I would say your initial outlay of £500 is probably going to take a year before you start reaping the benefits. If you go on the price of it costing, let's say £400 a year, and that you'll have your dog from 10 to 15 years, you're going to be saving anywhere upwards of £4,000, and that's a lot of money to save. But as well as saving the money, there are other advantages. So in the next section we'll talk about what you need to think of in terms of time.